Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a Southwest bowl. The main ingredients are going to be chicken breast, white rice, we're going to be using black beans, you can definitely use pinto, yellow corn, cilantro, and salsa verde. For the seasoning, we are going to be using pink Himalayan salt, black pepper, you will be needing garlic powder. We're going to be adding some red pepper, and this is going to give it some spice. If you don't like spicy food, then obviously skip this step. Paprika. Paprika is not spicy, and there's honestly not too much flavor to it, but it does give it a nice color, and that's why I use it. And lastly, we're going to be using some cumin. Go ahead and give these a stir. And voila, your seasoning is ready. Now for your chicken breast, we want to make sure that you remove any excess fat that the chicken breast may have and that they're about the same size in width. So I'm going to go ahead and slice this chicken breast lengthwise. And of course, they're not going to be the exact same width, but we want to make sure that they're as close in width as possible. That way they cook evenly. Now we're going to go ahead and season them. I personally only season one side. I've always done that. You can definitely season both sides if you wish. Now, this is a little trick that I do. When you're cutting chicken, make sure that only your left hand, which is holding the chicken, is touching it. That way, your right hand, which is your cutting hand, doesn't get any chicken juices on it and you can season. This is just a little step that you can do to avoid taking an extra step and washing your hands. So now we're gonna go ahead and add our seasoning, I can't do it like that, to our chicken and try to add an even amount to all chicken breast. If you do need a little bit more seasoning because you ran out of it, then just go ahead and make another combination. This is also a great seasoning that you can prep ahead of time. That way for future times that you make this recipe, you already have it. Give them a nice rub. That way the seasoning is evenly distributed. And you can let this sit for a couple of minutes or you can cook it immediately. Really, this is preference. Now, the way that we're going to be cooking them today is we are going to be cooking them in an air fryer. I personally like the grill, but air fryer is great when you want something quick and obviously when you don't have a grill handy. I am going to be cooking these for about 15 to 20 minutes. And I have a air fryer that is a 5-quart, so I'm able to fit all these 4 pieces and cook them in roughly a short amount of time. If you have a smaller one, then you're definitely going to have to use less amount of chicken. So let's get cooking. So now it's time to put them in our air fryer. I have a Gourmet air fryer, and this is a 5-quart, so it's able to fit all of them. I found this one on Costco, I believe, for $80. They're getting a lot more popular now, so you can find a cheaper one. I would recommend going for a bigger one. That way you can fit a lot more things in it. Now, usually they're going to have different settings. It'll have a setting for chicken. It'll have a setting for seafood, for French fries. And on the right side of mine, it has a temp and time control. So you can always adjust the time and the temperature of your air fryer. For these chicken breasts, I'm going to be setting it to 385 degrees for 15 minutes. And I'm going to be flipping halfway through. So I'm going to set the temperature to 385. And I'm going to go ahead and open my air fryer. I'm going to give it a very light spray. This is an air fryer, so you need little to no oil at all. And now I'm going to be placing my chicken breast inside. I would not recommend overpacking this because then there might be parts of your chicken breast that don't fully cook. So making sure that you have enough space for your chicken breast and making sure that you flip these halfway through, that way they cook evenly. So now we're going to set the time for 15 minutes and now we're going to wait. Meanwhile, your chicken is cooking. We're going to go ahead and fix our toppings. Heat a medium pan on medium heat. Give it a light spray of cooking oil. And now you're going to add your black beans. And these are canned. These aren't fresh. You can definitely use fresh, and I'm sure they're going to taste a lot better. Or you can use frozen as well. I like buying canned. That way I just use one can and then I don't have extra beans or corns or vegetables sitting around that I'm not necessarily going to eat during the week. Now that those are in the pan, I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of paprika, again, because I want a hint of color, and then I'm gonna be adding some garlic powder. I'm not gonna add salt to this because I want the sweetness of the corn to stand out, and because we've already salted our chicken breast. So now we're just gonna mix this, and because you are eating this on the spot, you can I definitely recommend doing this step. Now, if you're meal prepping for the week, you could totally skip out this step because you will cook your beans or reheat them once you heat your food. So this is only if you're gonna be eating the meal on the spot. After your chicken is finished cooking, you're gonna let it sit for a couple of minutes. That way you avoid burning your hands when you chop it. Now, when it comes to slicing your chicken, I am gonna recommend that you cut your chicken in smaller strips. This way it's easier to eat and it is going to last a little bit longer in the fridge. I have seen that leaving your chicken breast whole when you put them, I feel like they harden a lot faster. And two, if you're slicing them, then they're really all ready to go for your meals and you have to avoid this step when you are cooking. Anything that saves you time. Now, after we slice this, it's ready to get plated. Now remember, if you are doing this for your meal prep for the week, grilling it is definitely a better option because it's gonna last longer. It's gonna maintain the juices in the chicken breast and make your meal taste better overall. Air fryer is a great choice for meals that you are gonna have the day of, because if you have this in a couple of days, most likely your chicken's gonna be dry. All right, guys, now it's time to plate our meal. Our base for this meal is white rice. Now you can use any type of rice that you have at hand. If you do not know how to cook rice, there is a recipe video and you can find this on our Envision Eats section on our website. So go ahead and take a look at it if you need any tips or if you just want to refresh on how to make white rice. Next, we're gonna go ahead and add our chicken breast. Look how pretty this looks. And this is why I like adding paprika, is because it just gives it this little tone of dark red and your food looks really pretty. Remember, if your food looks good, you are gonna want to eat it. Now we're gonna go ahead and add our corn and black bean mix. Next, we're gonna go ahead and add fresh cilantro. Cilantro gives food such a good flavor. It's just so fresh and honestly makes your food taste 10 times better. And lastly, and most importantly, the one ingredient that you can't skip out, green salsa. You can definitely make your own. Tomatillo, chile serrano, jalapeno, onion, garlic, and cilantro. And you are gonna go ahead and add this on top. Boom, boom, boom. And voila, there you have it. Southwest Chicken Bowl.